If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Welcome to the Dynasty Dugout Show, a podcast covering all things minor league baseball. Get a front row seat to the action with everything you need to know about the future stars of Major League Baseball. And now, here's your host, Chris Clegg.
What is up, folks? Happy Tuesday. Today, it's Rookie Ball Tuesday, because we don't have any other minor league action on Monday other than rookie level. So DSL, complex ball, we're going to have it all covered. First, the show is brought to you by Connect Roasters. Connect Roasters is Ian Happ's coffee company. Incredibly smooth coffee. They've got a wide variety of options. They've now got canned coffee you can check out. I personally love the Gold Glove blend. It's Ian Happ's specialty. He's a 3 straight Gold Glover, and the Gold Glove blend fits perfectly. It's smooth. You can make it however you like. I cold brew it, and it's delicious. You can go get bags of Gold Glove blend. Buy one, get one 50% off, so a really good deal. Use code Dynasty Dugout at checkout, or click the link in the description. Also, we're proud to partner with Chinook Seedery. Chinook has the best sunflower seeds in the game. Chinook's got sweet, spicy, salty, and I was just cutting the grass last night and had the Hatch chili, one of the spicier flavors. It's good, and I love it. But also, the cinnamon toast is a good change of pace, too, if you're looking for something sweet. So there's a ton of good options that you can get with Chinook Seedery. Go check them out, ChinookSeedery.com, and use the code Dynasty Dugout at checkout to get 10% off your order. All right, it's rookie ball. That's what we're going to talk about. It's an interesting talking points because the DSL is still early on, but we are going to talk about some players there. But first, we're going to get started talking about some players at the complex. Who are the top performers at the complex right now? Well, some of them have bumped out. Reinel Rodriguez bumped to single A. But right now, based on WRC Plus, Edward Florentino is the top hitter at the complex, and he has been really good. I sung the praises this spring when I saw him on the backfields. He was honestly a player that really, really caught my eye. He's 6'4". He's a really good athlete. He does a lot of things really, really well. You look at Florentino and what he brings to the table. There is legit juice in the bat, and the hit tool's pretty good. He struggled out of the gate. Like his first, I don't have the exact number in front of me. He was striking out at a very high clip. Through May the 19th, let me pull up those stats. Through May 19th, Florentino had a 38.1% strikeout rate, and he was slashing 211, 286, 421. So there's still some juice there, but struggling to make contact. And since then, we're looking at a different hitter and much more the hitter that I saw when I was down there this spring. Florentino since has struck out in his 10% of plate appearances, and he's got a 14% walk rate. Now, complex and DSL walk rates, just throw them out the window. Pitching is so bad. Strike throwing's bad. It's so hard to get anything from that, but I can tell you that Florentino has a pretty good approach based on what I saw this spring. Slashing 458, 534, 854 since then. That's 15 games. So he has 4 home runs, 3 triples, and 2 doubles over that span. Florentino on the year, 349, 436, 63 slash lines. Pretty crazy stuff. He's swinging it well. He's making contact. He's hitting the ball in the air a ton. He's getting to the pull side. This is exactly what I saw from Edward Florentino, and this is a good athlete for his size. playing in the outfield. He's played 5 games at first base, but he's still moving well. He's playing center field. Like, it's really impressive. Now, you look at him, he's built, he runs well. Does he tick down with time? Probably, but Edward Florentino, he currently looks like a dude that you want to be investing in. I'm just so impressed, and I think the stock's really going to take off. So watch out for Edward Florentino. Man, if he's somehow on your wire, please go pick him up. You don't want to regret passing up on this. I think that he's going to go to single A soon. There will be public StatCast day, and I can tell you that Florentino is going to soar when people start seeing that. So Edward Florentino, the Pirates outfield first baseman. First name to talk about, one of the best complex performers to date, and certainly over recent days, he's really been catching eyes. But who else is standing out? Well, we talk about this guy a lot, but Ching-Hsien Ko, and I know I'm probably saying that wrong, of the Dodgers, he has continued to just be insane. If I'm not mistaken, he has been on base every single game this year. Kind of nuts. 31 games, 31 game on base streak for Ching, Ching hyphen Hsien, Hsien Ko. Ko is just nuts. Now, the hit tool's good. He's running into a lot of doubles. I think there'll be more power with time. He's 6'3", 215, and he's 18 years old. So you look at Ko, he's in a great organization for player development. The hit tool is shown to be very, very good. The raw power's there. I think speed's probably the only thing lacking, but that's okay. If he doesn't steal bases and he hits for power, gets on base, and hits for average, then frankly, it doesn't matter. Ko's going to be a really good player. It's clear at this point that complex ball is no challenge for Ko. I mean, when you're putting up the numbers he is, really the only flaw you can find in his game is that he's putting the ball on the ground too much, but 47.7%, okay, that's fine. Like, I would not be worried about that at all right now, just given his age, given that he's still adjusting stateside. I remember this kid came from Taiwan. They sent him to the DSL last summer. So from Taiwan to the Dominican to Arizona. Some big transitions in life and culture. So hopefully Ko goes to California soon for the single A for Rancho Cucamonga. This kid's really, really good. And he has not slowed down a bit. 31 game on base streak. It's nuts. Continues to hit and perform. Ko is definitely a name to know. Now, I do want to talk about, this one's gotten some buzz, and that's Hayden Alvarez of the Los Angeles Angels. Alvarez is an interesting prospect. He's 6'3", 190, projectable. He has not really tapped into power. Yes, he has 2 home runs so far, over 110 plate appearances. But Alvarez, when you look into the hood, it's kind of like, I'm not so sure. He does run well. He stole 32 bases last year in the DSL. He's stolen 14 so far this year. Now, when you look at Alvarez, there is some projection, and that's what people are banking on. He's 18 years old in 2 months, so he's really young. If he does tap in his power, then he becomes pretty intriguing. Right now, I'm still a little hesitant. While the surface numbers look good, 386, 491, 500, he has a 51% ground ball rate, which is a little bit concerning. He is making a conscious effort to pull more balls, but he is rolling over more balls too. It is a good contact profile. You got to give him that. The contact skills have ticked up. He's a center fielder that has some projection, but Hayden Alvarez was there to make long-term this profile. And I think we're doing a lot of projecting on it. And that's not to say that he won't reach the status of some of these. Like, can he tick up? Yeah, absolutely. And I think that we'll probably see that over time. Like, I'm looking at it and saying maybe with time we'll see the StatCast kind of improve. And that's the hope. But right now, I kind of think that Alvarez is kind of overperforming the under the hood a little bit. I mean, I think it's a fine profile. He's walking nearly as much as he struck out. But again, he's running a near 500 BABIP, so that's boosting the batting average a ton. That comes back down to earth. I mean, given the ground balls, like, I'd expect him to, certainly see that average tick way back down. So Hayden Alvarez is a name to know, I think. He's not like a rush to add type guy, but I do think that there is some intrigue, but not enough for me to say, like, I'm all in. Now, this guy out in Arizona is, and that's Juneiker Caceres. And again, I'm probably butchering that last name. I probably should have done more research on the pronunciation before, but Juneiker being Juneiker, and Caceres being Caceres. Cleveland Guardians always produce players, and Caceres might be a dude. Now, the data's really good on this guy. He's making contact at high clips. He's hitting the ball hard. He's young. He just turned 17 years old, and I think he's going to pop off. I mistakenly say he just turned 17. He's 17 in 10 months, but still, he will be 17 for the entire season. I'd expect him to get to Lynchburg this year. I mean, this is kind of the Guardians' way. We've seen them do that time and time again. Selfishly, I hope he goes to Lynchburg over the next 2 weeks because I'll be seeing Lynchburg. So I know it's not realistic. It's not going to happen. But Juneiker is a dude. You look at what he's doing, and I've been impressed. 3 home runs and 4 stolen bases with a 312, 444, 545 slash. But it's not that I'm looking at and saying, like, this is like, let's look at the underlying data because this is some good stuff. Like last year, he topped at 108 as a 16-year-old. So some really good data there. This year, the EVs are good. You look at the average EV, it's 86.5 miles an hour. That's good. The launch angles are the biggest question. A lot of more ground balls this year, the launch angles. And it's finding the happy medium, actually, which is interesting because when you look, last year, like, very inconsistent launch angles, a lot of pop-ups, bad launch angle overall, more line drives. But this year, it's more ground balls and launch angles way down. But it's a very passive approach, doesn't swing a lot, which makes sense of the complex. I mean, you're not getting good pitching, so you might as well pick your spots well. And I feel like that's what he's doing. I mean, the reality is he's going to have to swing more. I think we will see him swing more as he moves up. But the swing rates are really crazy to actually look at and see. Chase rate sub 20%. The overall contact rate 87%, which is just kind of stupid. You know, he's doing a lot of good things that I like. And Caceres maybe he's been really good. It's some projection. He's grown from this 5'10". At this point, he's listed 5'10". I think he's much bigger than that. At this point, he's somebody that's going to tap into more power, already seeing the EVs. So Caceres, whatever the pronunciation is, I hope one of those is right. But Juneiker of the Cleveland Guardians is certainly somebody that you should be in tune with because he's really, really good. And he's popping off, and I think that you'll see that continue. And he's somebody that you really want to be in on, in my opinion. So get in on him sooner than later. Young complex player, really good data, good surface results. Probably going to single A sooner than later. So let's jump in on that one. What about a sell? I hate to say sell any guys, but the complex sell is definitely Dauri Fernandez, his teammate, in my opinion. Now, Fernandez hit tool is really, really good. There's no denying that. I mean, you look at what he does. He makes a lot of contact. He doesn't chase. It's like a 13% chase rate. It's really good. The overall contact rate, really good. But again, Juneiker makes better contact. We labeled Dauri this great contact hitter. Juneiker is making more contact right now. We're looking at the difference in a couple percentage points, but Juneiker is up. I would take that there. Yes, Juneiker a little more passive. We're seeing a little more aggression from Dauri, but again, in the zone, especially, like, the overall swing rates are low for Dauri, but Dauri Fernandez power is non-existent. Like, it's not there. Ultimately, I mean, you're looking at minimal power and minimal power projection. So yes, he is 18, so he is older than Juneiker. Dauri, switch hitter. He's 5'9". He's small. He does have 2 home runs this year, but his exit velocities are bad. I mean, it's like an 82 mile an hour average EV. His upper end exit velocities are really bad. He's never hit a ball over 100 miles an hour before. So Dauri Fernandez is not someone to be, I think that he's got a lot of hype, and I'm selling because you look at, a 204 ISO, a 972 OPS. I'd sell him. I think that's a good prospect to sell right now to know. So those are some complex hitters to talk about. Let's talk about a couple of DSL hitters because we won't have as many pitchers to talk about. It's just the nature of it. I do want to talk about some DSL hitters and who's actually making waves and who is legit and who's not. I mean, obviously we all know that Chris Rodriguez of the Tigers is putting up absurd exit velocities. I've talked about that a ton. He's off the charts, but he is striking out more than you like to see. It's interesting because I personally don't think like there's a lot of DSL players that are really separating themselves. Elian Pena, who was the top guy in the Mets organization, he got a huge bonus and he's been bad. He did hit a home run yesterday. I mean, at this point, that was much needed. But let me read you this slash line. 034-194. Okay, so yeah, a lot of suspended games in the DSL yesterday, which would make sense as to why it didn't register in the game logs. Rain must have swept through. They got started and just did not finish. So it makes sense. But Pena did hit a home run yesterday, so that's good to at least hopefully get that monkey off his back. But my goodness, those struggles have been there for Elian Pena so far. But really, I mean, there's not a lot of DSL bats that early I'm like must add banging the table for. I think that you've got Taylon Serrano, and that's Teilon, Serrano, Serrano. He's certainly one that I'm looking at like, yeah, Serrano can play. He's going to be really good. He's an early one catching eyes and putting up some pretty good data. Chris Rodriguez is putting up really good data. So those are the names to know for sure. I think Gabriel Davallo is getting off to a good start. He was a Angels catching prospect. He's looked really, really good. So, I think that the other one is Luis Arana, who I wrote about this morning. So go check out the article if you want to know more about him. He's pretty interesting. He's not struck out yet. Pretty interesting athlete, good bat to ball. But go read the report on Luis Arana, and I think he's intriguing. So that's some hitters that are standing out of the complex. We will talk about some pitchers right after the break. So again, when we look at rookie level pitching, it's hard because there's so many more factors other than stats, like surface stats, just throw out the window. Like obviously you've got Roddy Reyes, the Braves with electric stuff, 16-year-old. You've got Kevin DeFrank at 16 years old with really big stuff. But you have to be careful, honestly. Like when you look at these guys, it's like the surface stats just don't tell a great story. I mean, it doesn't tell a great story for the DSL bats. And I think you can just throw them out the window in most cases. But when we're looking, like, what are we looking for? Like if I'm looking for a complex or DSL pitcher, like really, like I'm looking for players that are missing bats, they're limiting walks, and they're ultimately able to have good pitch data. Get it where we can. It's hard to get. There's good pitch data out there in some places that you can't get. But there are some names that have caught my eye. In the DSL, obviously those two guys I mentioned, Roddy Reyes and Kevin DeFrank, have some of the better stuff. But some other names that are putting up pretty good data when we're looking at it, you've got a 17-year-old with the Colorado Rockies named Diego Arroyo. He's fascinating. It's a 4 ERA, but a 1.19 xFIP. We're looking at small samples in the DSL, so we can't put a lot of stock into it, but 53% strikeout rate to 3% walk rates. Chicago White Sox have a guy, Yobal Rodriguez, that's Yobal Rodriguez, who's 17, who's putting up some really good numbers. Yes, he is not allowed a run at this point. Yes, he has a high strand rate. And yes, it's a low BABIP, but 37% strikeout rate to 3% walk rate. Some good stuff there. Trying to get a little more pitch data on those guys. But let's go to the complex because those guys at the complex certainly have a little more track record that we can talk about. Jose Bello just got traded to the Red Sox in the deal for Rafael Devers. Like, that'll be an interesting one. I, at this point, believe when the Red Sox identify a pitcher, it's like, okay, there's stuff to like. Like, when you look at Jose Bello, I think that he's obviously been good on the surface, but Bello has pretty interesting stuff. So he's younger, but he'll probably go to the complex, I'd guess. Maybe he goes to single A. We'll see. But ultimately, he's like 93, 95. It's good arm side run with Jose Bello. It's a lot of projectability. He throws a cutter upper 80s, low 90s, and then a slider with 2-plane break kind of in the mid 80s. But Bello's interesting because he did sign a little late. He ultimately signed at 18. He goes to DSL. He put up some decent numbers, but now at the complex, like, he's had good surface numbers and pretty good stuff. So when you look at Bello, he's a big project, but he has popped, and he's somebody to watch out for. I'd look at Bello and say, like, maybe there's something here, and maybe we can project on Bello. We know that the Red Sox pitch depth's pretty good, so I'd at least watch out for Jose Bello. Obviously, that name is more on radars, just given the fact that he was in that big trade. When a name gets thrown in a trade like that, even as the fourth piece, still pretty intriguing. So Jose Bello, potential guy to really keep an eye on there. I've talked a lot about Johnny King. I've talked a lot about Argenis Kayama. Both been exceptional. Two of the best pitchers in the complex right now. But I don't think Grant Shepardson is getting enough love with the Marlins. Shepardson's been exceptional this year. He's sub-3 ERA. He's not missing a ton of bats, but the arsenal is there. Like, it's a good fastball, good slider, and he has walked 11% of batters. So that at least, maybe throws a little bit of damper on things. But when I look at what Grant Shepardson brings to the table, I'm really intrigued, guys. I think Grant Shepardson is going to be a really good arm prep pitcher drafted last year. I don't know. I'm pretty intrigued by what Shepardson brings to the table. Take a look at him. He's somebody that's not getting the buzz out of the complex, I think is really, really good, or has some intrigue at least. A couple other guys at the complex that are popping off. Obviously, when we look at like stats, throw them out. But from an Arsenal standpoint, like some complex level pitchers who do have really good stuff. I look at like guys like Yhoiker. Again, I probably butchered that. Red Sox. Fajardo. That's Yhoiker Fajardo. Now the Red Sox just bumped him to single A. So some interest there when you say, okay, this guy's already bumped to single A. That's pretty quick. He's 18. He was acquired this offseason in a trade with the White Sox with Cam Boozer. And we're looking at a fastball that has taken steps forward. It's low to mid 90s, but he has increased, and I think he'll increase further. He's got a good slider, and he's still kind of working on that changeup, but Fajardo, name to keep an eye on, honestly. Like, I think that he could really pop off. He debuted last year in the DSL. He's obviously been really good at the complex in order for him to bump. So Fajardo, again, let me spell that, Yhoiker Fajardo. Now with the Salem Red Sox single A, 18 years old, he'll be 18 all season, 6'3", righty, 180 pounds, so some projectability. I'm pretty excited about what he brings to the table. So Fajardo will be somebody to watch. I think he could really rise up ranks this year. But again, that's the show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll have some live looks tonight. Greensboro's in town, so Connor Griffin. Obviously, he's the highlight, but Greensboro has some bats that I'm excited to see as well. I've seen all those guys. I get a lot of Pirates, see a lot of Pirates in the spring. I hang out a lot around Bradenton. Just know some guys there. But, I'll bring you some more live looks all week, and I'm pretty pumped for that. But you guys take care, and we'll see you tomorrow.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.